This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is a Fast Break Podcast. I am your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me, as always, is Ricky Widmer.
What's up, guys?
And Dave Oster.
Hey, everybody.
And I'm back after being in Sioux Shitty, Iowa. Real glad to be back. And
Is it really that bad?
It's bad.
I've never been.
The people are lovely. I will give the credit to the people, the Iowans. Lovely.
The Midwest hospitality.
Yes, very, very nice people. But the town's not for me. I'm glad to be back in the MVP studios in the Chi. But you might be wondering why we're so damn close. The MVP studios are leaking. There's a pipe back here that is totally messed up.
We're just getting a swimming pool built in.
Exactly. Our feet are ankle deep in water right now. You just can't see it because of the way Ricky cut it off. But anyways, so this week we are not doing any topics. We got the Wet Boys, and then we're doing our mock draft.
Hell yeah.
Mock draft 3.0. It is the start of the NCAA tournament. It's been a blast. So far, so good. A 16 over a 1. We're super excited to do that. But before we jump in, if you're listening on iTunes, don't forget to rate us 5 stars. The Onside Kick, the Fast Break Podcast, the Primetime Podcast, and the Rick and Johnny Podcast. We love and need your support. Go over there to iTunes and give us that love. Also, check out mostvaluablepodcast.com. You can find t-shirts if you want to rep some MVP merch. That's where you'll find it over there. And also, check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast if you want to check out the $1 tier, the $2 tier, the $5 tier, or $10 tier, the $10 tier. We have a patron come on to a podcast monthly. We talk about the subject that they want to. We hit up our boy Jake. Jake's going to most likely be on a podcast either next week or the week after that.
Christian's going to be on the Onside Kick next week.
Look at that. So you want to check that out and see what that is like. And if you love it, then give us that love over on patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. But boys, let's jump into it. We got our Wet Boys, the dampest dudes, the soggiest of shooters, our moist men, the Wet Boys of the week. Ricky, who is the player that just absolutely popped off for you this week that you need to give some love to?
Well, I'll be honest. You mentioned it earlier in the intro. It's not going to be an NBA player. It's not. I have to go with, hopefully in the NBA. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but got to go with Jarius Lyles, the guard from UMBC, the 16 over the 1. Can't give enough love to the Retrievers, and this was a team Dave tweeting all about them last night. I was all over this. Loved it. UVA, they were my champion. Got that injury. They were not. So I'm happy to see a 16 over 1. Got to give the love to Lyles. Putting that up, advancing the bracket.
So now we've had a college player. We've had a whole NBA team that, Ricky, you need to put on the board.
Yeah. We'll see.
And then obviously we have our typical entries. And Dave, you have a familiar face to the Wet Boys this week.
Yeah, I'm just going with Joel Embiid. I'm just going with the old classic, riding the process. The dude's been a monster. 2 blocks a game, and those blocks aren't little blocks. He usually, rocks him back into the stands. 26 points a game, 12 boards, and honestly, just shooting so well. I love this kid, and I am so excited if they could just get rid of their freaking turnovers. They will be just a team that you do not want to go up against in the playoffs.
And I think you missed, but actually you said the former guy coming back. You didn't mean Anthony Davis, right? That's not who you meant? Anthony Davis? How many Wet Boys he's got?
Look, God, I'm just saying the best center in the league,
With Joe's Wet Boy, though, he is now third. He's got his third, which is now tied for second with James Harden, LeBron James, still behind AD, like Ricky mentioned, who's got 4, because this is an updater, right? You haven't touched it yet.
I'm going to do it right now.
Okay, so now we got 3 for JoJo, and a guy making his appearance along with Jarius Lyles, Taurine Sands-Waller-Prince out of the Atlanta Hawks.
You learned the full name on purpose, didn't you?
No, because when we were doing our first draft, I think it was my first mock with MVP. Waller-Prince was like really late in the 24, and they ended up going up into 12. So, and we were calling him Waller-Prince because he was called back in Baylor, but now he's just going with Taurine Prince. But for the Atlanta Hawks, Taurine Prince absolutely went off in the past 3 games. 28 points per game, 8 total rebounds per game, 5 assists, shooting 50% from the field, 48% from 3, and it's a win for the Atlanta Hawks because they lost all 3 games.
I was going to say
they're still undefeated.
It's the best thing they can say about the Atlanta Hawks right now. Yeah, it's sort of a shame, but
and the Atlanta Hawks, we're going to be talking about them because they are in the top 10 of the mock draft. So let's just get away from it. Before we do that, though, we'll give an update of the standings. AD is at top, like always, with 4 Wet Boys. Now, Joel Embiid tied with LeBron James and James Harden with 3. A ton of guys at 2. Kristaps not going to make an appearance anymore. Giannis, Ben Simmons, Lou Will, Lauri Markkanen, Dame almost got a Wet Boy.
I almost gave him one.
A couple more players and a ton of guys at 1. But there is we got some encroachment. LeBron LeBron James could have got another one with that dunk over Yusuf Nurkic
my
as well.
God.
Ridiculous with
That man has a family, LeBron.
Well, and also what he's doing at 33 years old. I mean, LeBron
Yeah.
getting up like he did, absolutely insane. But those are our Wet Boys of the Week. Let us know who you thought popped off this week in the NBA or in college as well.